Listener discretion is advised.
The opinions expressed on this podcast are those of the individuals, and they do not reflect any official view of the United Steelworkers, USW Local 105, or its officers or sub-board members for officers.
Now, from the banks of the mighty Mississippi, this is Steel Revolution.
Are we ready to go?
Yes, sir.
He'll just start talking whenever.
Whenever he wants to.
You know he will.
All right. Go ahead, Ray.
Huh? Steel Revolution 81?
See?
Look
Come
at that.
on,
Look
bro.
at that.
See?
Let's kick her off.
He just. Well, I knew he was going to get ready to interrupt.
Well, who the hell are you then?
Hey, I'm Brad Grieve.
Roy Hutt.
Mike Nicholas.
Sean Geisens.
Thanks for kicking it off, Brad.
Yeah, this has been a while since we've been here, but we finally got Mike Nicholas back to the mic.
Mhm.
See how long that lasts.
Keep it up.
We got tape.
Some of us are busy.
Yep, some of us are busy.
Yeah, and mentioning that last podcast, we had talked about having meetings for our members that were going to be laid off to the street. It was 154 members being laid off. In those meetings, gave you a packet, and in that packet was an explanation of the SBE. Would be that stands for Subsidized Benefits Extension. So as part of that, you should be receiving a bill for health insurance premiums for the month of August. A family can expect to owe $216.67. Again, that explanation was in the packet. If you used insurance or are going to use insurance in August, that bill must be paid, or your insurance or your health insurance benefits will be canceled effective July 31st. Us here at the hall will repost contact information for health insurance providers. One just sent me a text saying that some people has been reaching out to them. We will repost that on Facebook. But see if we can get it in the Forerunner again. If you have any information or want that information, feel free to call the hall if you miss it, and we'll work on getting that information to you. Again, that's providers that search the market for the best deal on health insurance for you. And then you should have been severed from the voluntary shared work program. Anybody of our 154 of those names should have been given to the people running the VSW program, and then you should have been severed and you should start your regular unemployment. If you haven't, please call the hall. I'd like to take your name and information and see if you've received anything at all, and then we'll continue to work with HR and see what we can get done to make sure you're severed from that program and you're getting your regular unemployment benefits.
And we do know that there are some that are having a problem because their unemployment papers do say Aluminum Company of America. So we know that. We're working with HR and the company to get those names down and send a letter to Workforce Development from the company. More information to come. We'll hopefully put something in the Forerunner next week once we get something done.
Yeah, if you're being denied benefits for whatever reason and you're talking to somebody from Workforce Development, get their name. When you talk to them, get any information you can. Call down here. We're happy to see if we can help you. Speaking of the VSW program, Brad?
Yeah, so VSW program, I think it was a good program. It's a voluntary program through the Iowa Workforce Development, and it was designed for short hours. Not a whole lot of information out there on the website, and they didn't really hand off a lot of information to the company on how it should have been done. So there were some issues, and then their work week starts on Sunday and ends on Saturday, and that's how some of the 12-hour schedules that were working split Saturday, Sunday were able to actually qualify for 1 week out of the month. But it gets confusing for us when we're on a 32-hour work week on the 8-hour schedules, because sometimes if you work a Sunday, it might throw you into 40 hours for the week, because it's different than our payroll week at the plant. So when the company was submitting those hours, Iowa Workforce Development had to transfer it to their work week, and it didn't really go too smooth. And then some of the information the company had in their spreadsheet showed that people were scheduled for a day and they weren't, because of the way the schedule is in Oracle anyway. That didn't come through right either. So we've corrected some. We do have a list of 28 people that have brought forward the data that we need. They're on the list. There's some efforts by the company, mostly Andy Miller, trying to correct some of those. But we did, on Wednesday, file a grievance, plant-wide 505. I've sent that out to all the committeemen. They have a list of the 28 people that we have information on. If there are others out there that believe they have gotten weeks that they need to be paid for, then they need to get with their committee person, get the right information and data to us, and we will put you on the list for the purpose of trying to get that corrected through the company, and if not, we will correct it through the grievance procedure, or attempt to. So with that, there are some where people thought they lost, or the paperwork got lost. They said they turned it in, so it's going to be a hard one to prove, but if people have proof of that, something time-stamped or emails or whatever, we will work with that too. So again, you can talk to your committee person. They got that information today, or a board member. I sent that to the committee persons and board.
All right.
And we did do some information requests too. So we're trying to we know they have a pile of paper. We're trying to get them to sort that out so we can see if there's some of them that they missed putting into their spreadsheet. Roy, what else you got?
There you go. That's why you know you're going to talk.
That's what I need to. I need to wait. I need one of them.
Yep.
I should have known better, because when he talks, you around him long enough, you realize he's going to stop for a little bit,
And then keep
and
going.
then he's going to keep on
Yep.
going.
Yep.
Just when you think, usually it's when you're trying to leave the hall and you think you're going to leave, and there's a break, so then you start working your way towards the door, and then he brings you back, yells at you.
He's never yelled at me before.
Should have known better.
Always thinking, just a little slow sometimes.
So for those employees that were furloughed or laid off employees from April, May, and June, if you're getting contacted about a denial of your unemployment benefits, please get a hold of the hall. We have some documents that Mike and Brad have made up to help you with your appeals. So we can get you those documents as long as you call the hall. We'll make sure you get them. Members can schedule time with HR to have an HR rep on your appeals call. Those seem to be going good.
They're going pretty good. Yeah.
Seem to be straightening some stuff out. Mike, what did you hear from what did the appeals judge said to
Today on one of the calls, the appeals judge was the same as a call we had earlier in the week, and basically said the same things, that hey, we're hearing this over and over again. We're trying to get to the bottom of it. So hopefully, we get a few more calls going. They're going to hear the same thing, and Iowa Workforce Development's going to get to the bottom of it. So hopefully we can get this figured out before too many more.
Yeah, and this issue's been around for a while, with the rolling department, sheet department that were out on furlough early on. But now it's starting to hit the ingot plant. So we do have a letter developed and some information that I did forward to Lee Schaefer, committee person for ingot. So we'll get that. We're going to continue to work on the group on the background, but we will one-on-one, and HR is willing to sit in on these calls and help correct it. So when you get that appeal process, if you get a hold of us, we give you the information, or you can get a hold of Lee Schaefer if you're in the ingot plant. And then you need to do a couple things. One is get a hold of Iowa Workforce Development, request any information in writing that they have of why they're denying your benefit now, or and then the appeals judges are a different group, and you need to call them and give them your number and the number for one of us at the hall, or your committee person, and one of the two HR people, and then they will work to to get that set up so they get everybody on the call. Hopefully we can get it cleared up in a group and they'll figure out the whole thing. But we've thought that for a while now and it hasn't happened. So
Yeah, it's like learning something new. We've been working on this and trying to find some best practices, and we think we're getting better at it. In Iowa City, I know a few of us had jumped on a training about doing unemployment appeals, and it's important that you gather as much information or find out as much as you can right when you first find out that you're being denied benefits, because you only got 2 shots of entering any sort of evidence in your favor, and then you're done. Moving the last 2 steps of the appeal process, you're only arguing what's been done in the past. You can't enter anything new. To go along with that, we have a few of us here, and we've reached out to the plant, and believe that the plant has also reached out to state lawmakers to let them know that, a big chunk of our business is automotive, and when the automotive manufacturers were down, there was a layoff due to lack of work, and make sure that they know about that. And hopefully we can, again, between what everybody's doing here, the members, HR, us, and what we're doing outside of here, hopefully that'll put some pressure on workforce development, and hopefully we can get these things stopped and corrected. On the COVID front here at the plant, you should have received some new Arconic masks or gaiters that should have been handed out by your department. If you did not get them, get a hold of your coach or area manager and see about getting some. But those should all be handed out by now, I would think. And then up at Center Gate, there is some extra of the white masks that the company first handed out. There seems to be some packages of them up there. If you would like an extra one of them, you can head up to Center Gate by security. It's currently sitting at 42 confirmed positive cases at the plant. And important thing, if you're sick, if you feel sick, if you have a fever, make sure you stay home, call medical, start the process of getting done what you need to get done, so you can take care, or make sure you can use the benefits of our new temporary policy, and you can get a hold of your union reps to make sure you're following that and you get what's coming to you. And then you just got to check and make sure your pay and your attendance is correct. Anything else on that, Brad?
no, I mean, just, once you think it's dying down, again, we're at 42. Even in the state of Iowa, just when you think it's calming down, things kick back up. So it hasn't gone away. So protect yourself, protect each other, protect your family, and let's do what we can. And we got fall coming up here, which is the normal flu season. Flu shots will be available. They'll be doing some things at the plant. They'll have Hy-Vee administering shots. I'm going to look up the details on our insurance, but I believe we can get them at our doctor's office, or you can get them at one of the CVS pharmacies. And then I believe we will still be able to get them at Hy-Vee if we aren't there on the days that they do it at the plant. So flu shot isn't going to prevent coronavirus, but it will help. It depends on the strain that comes through this year. But again, if you've been getting them, then you have immunities to a lot of different versions of the flu virus. So everybody can make up their own mind, but I've gotten it every year here for the last 10 years. So
I don't know if that's a good endorsement or not.
yeah, I know. I figured that, but
He's still here, so
yeah, I'm still here. I'm old.
we know.
And,
We know.
It's I haven't had the flu for 10 years either.
Well, when you eat stuff that's expired, you probably don't get sick that much.
Well, maybe I don't even need a flu shot. Maybe I'm just getting the immunities that way.
I have nothing to say.
U.S. News, Roy. What do you got?
USW news. There
USW.
seems to be an issue with Firestone, and
Goodyear.
How about Goodyear?
Goodyear. Yeah, Goodyear, not Firestone. Yeah, I think they made a policy. They seemed to upset the president, and president's firing back at Goodyear and wants people to go get cheaper tires. But the important thing to remember is Goodyear tires are made by USW workers, and that's good union paying jobs you're supporting when you're buying them tires. If you can find tires made in America.
Yeah, I'm gonna go look for some this weekend.
And I will try to post on our Facebook page how you can look at the code on the tires to find out whether they're made in America, where they're made. So I'll post that later.
Yeah, we've all been sitting here talking about it before we started recording, and most of us have the same version of what's happened when you talk to people at these tire places. Hey, are they made in USA? I don't know. No one asked that question, or I don't know how to look that up. That's all I usually get.
Yep.
Mike says Tire Rack will be
They'll
able
help
to
you
tell
with
you.
that. Yep.
So I'm going to try that today.
And I will help you. Like I said, I'll post it on Facebook, some of the ways to do it. So
we'll see if we can find some audio from Goodyear employees. I think there's been a few things out there, USW members, and we'll post that and tape that and come back and wrap up the show.
Here at the Goodyear Akron facility, we build race tires. We build tires for NASCAR and NHR.
When I started here, I thought it was going to be all automated, and much to my surprise, it's all hands-on. So every tire we build is built by hand. I mean, I just think of the drivers. I want them to be safe. I want to build the best tire I can.
A lot of pride. It's everything has to go just perfect. You know, you want everything in its place. There's drivers going 200 miles an hour on these tires. And if you watch a NASCAR race, there's always a lot of talk about tires. So there's a lot of pride in it.
We insert our name that says proudly made by Becky Peterhoff in every single tire that goes out the door. So your tire is represented from the time that it's off the machine, goes out the door, gets to the track, and finishes the race.
A couple weeks after the race, they usually post winning tires, like a car that ends up on Victory Lane. They'll scan the tires and they can tell who built those tires. And Goodyear gives us a certificate that's in a frame and tells us, what race, who the driver was, what tire I built, what machine I built it on. And I've got a couple of them hanging in my garage, so it's pretty neat. It's a good conversation piece.
I've been here 24 years and I'm 62 years old, and many people ask me why I still stay in the tire room. I love it. I love the craftsmanship. I like working individually and being responsible for my own workmanship, the pride.
Very hands-on, very, it's something you take a lot of pride in.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about quality and safety and pride. I mean, you feel a responsibility to that driver, and you just want to do the best you can.
I think the motto of quality over quantity goes back to the fact that people could risk their lives driving on it. They've always told us they'd rather have 30 good tires than 35 and 5 of them be bad. You don't ever want to put anyone else's life in danger. Like I said, the speeds these guys travel at, it could be a scary situation out there. There's only a few people in the world could ever say they got to build a NASCAR tire. They're very proud of the fact that they're the ones that get to do it and they get to contribute to the sport. The same way with NHRA, that's a 300-mile-an-hour tire. There's no one else can say they got a 300-mile-an-hour tire. And our guys build all those by hand, so they're extremely proud of what they do around here.
Everybody's ready. But the diva. Hold on, guys. Let me get my headphones on.
Did I say anything?
You didn't have to.
Yeah, I did it for you.
Okay.
That's what you were thinking.
No.
Come on, guys.
Some great audio from USW. You can find that on Facebook. I know it's on Facebook. It's on the USW page on Facebook, maybe on YouTube. But Yeah, really cool. Each one of those people that were interviewed were all USW members, all building those tires by hand.
It sounds like
tires.
they work tirelessly on it.
Oh, there it is.
While you're tirelessly on it, while you're out there, one thing we didn't cover today is 2020 election coming in November. But while you're out there on that USW website, there is a picture of the United States, all the states, and it says something about getting voting information. If you click on that thing and then click on your state, it'll take you and it'll give you all the information you need to know about registration,
Early
absentee
voting, yeah.
ballots, early voting.
Yep.
So let's not forget we have that. We'll talk more about that on our next podcast. But all that's out there on the USW.org.
Got my absentee ballot requests in the mail and
Me too.
got them sent in already.
Mine's sent in too.
Thanks to Roxanne.
You got more than one?
3 or 4. No, me and my wife's.
Oh, you took care of it. That's everybody. You got to get your kids and your spouse and
my dog.
get them all. Even
My
your dog?
Yeah.
No alligators though. Hanging chads and stuff. So, no, seriously, let's everybody vote. So opportunities are there. It's easy to do.
It affects you at your work.
Absolutely.
Just think about workers' comp insurance. All right. That'll be it. Sean,
Hello, Roy.
where can people find us?
Is this up to date?
I don't know. Probably not.
Well, they can find us on Facebook page, right?
Yeah.
Apple Podcasts, Podcast Addict for Android devices, the iHeartRadio app, radio.com app, Libsyn's website at libsyn.com, Spotify app, and then the men's restroom here at Local 105. Yeah.
We better end this. Grieg looks like he wants to talk again.
He wants to talk, or does he need a nap?
Yeah, he doesn't have his nap today.
I'm gonna have to train somebody on that website though. To keep it.
We'll work on it. I promise.
That'll be the next office secretary's job.
Of course,
wait.
you could hire me to do that.
And they're already in.
I can do that from home.
And that guy's already trained.
That's right. We got her.
Anyway, thanks for listening,
We'll see you next time.
and don't forget to say something good about your union.
Every day.
Steel Revolution is a production of Steelworkers 105, Bettendorf, Iowa.